This is Massive, the world's largest cruiserweight, and you're watching and listening to Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm out.
What is up, and happy leap year day, heels and baby faces. Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC. Joining me is that guy, Tommy.
Damn, for one extra day.
And we got Big Mike.
What's up, guys? 2024. Let's get going.
Oh, my Lord. I know. Tommy's excited. Black History Month has an extra day this year, but we also do means we probably this might be I don't know when the next time we'll ever have a chance to do a WrestleCast on February 29th, but being that it is Leap Year Day means we have a chance to have something special on the show. We're going to be talking a lot about the road to NPW Mania with a very special guest. Let's welcome her now, Thunder Rosa.
Woo!
Yeah.
Hey!
Welcome to the
Hello.
show.
Hello.
And I do want to say I chose to play the liner we got from Massive. I saved that for you to be on the show because when I interviewed him prior to the pandemic, one question I always asked was, who do you think is going to be the next big talent coming up in wrestling? Your name very quickly came out of his mouth. So I really wanted to share that. I know we all miss him. We all love him.
Yeah.
He had a lot of nice things to say about you on that interview. I can get you the link if you ever want to go back.
That was a really good friend of mine, and I saw that, and I was like,
I saw your reaction. Yeah, I was like, I'm
No,
sorry.
no, it's just terribly sad how things happen for him, and I still think that he's still around, and it's just hard because you never know when death is gonna come or when people are gonna pass and stuff, and sometimes you want to hold your friends accountable, and you have to distance yourself from them because you have to hold them accountable, right? When you were good friends and you're fucking up, you have to tell them they're fucking up a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's just sad because I didn't get a chance to tell him that I loved him before he passed away. And it just by surprise when he passed away. And I mean, at the end of the day, he makes his choices, and you make choices in life, and sometimes he keeps you away from the right path. And when you try to get back in the right path, it's kind of late, and that's what happened to him. So made me sad because I really love that guy. He took care of my son, of my dog. I was close to his partner and stuff. Like he was there with Ryan when I won the championship. They were watching it on NWA, and he was super. I remember him calling me, telling me how proud he was of me and stuff, and he always had some really interesting words to do of encouragement. So I
interesting. You go back and watch. I asked him his favorite promo, and this is the same one that stood out to me. He once told a guy in a wheelchair, "Hey, come talk to me when you can stand up and walk." He told a guy in a wheelchair that is full on heels.
He was brutal.
Man, he had oh God, some of his responses to people.
He was brutal. He was brutal, but he was a good dude. He was.
And I know he would have he would be very, very proud of you right now with Mission Pro Wrestling. Which I got to ask you off the top, what is harder, going through wrestling training or running a wrestling promotion?
The face, man, it's just so telling, bro.
Hey, let me tell you, we've been running since 2019, and we run into one of the most difficult times.
Yeah.
In wrestling business, we made it. Right now, the inflation is rough, and I know we're like one of very few women's promotions in this side of the country running, and probably in the United States that it's consistently running, and that we've been blessed to being able to continue to give a platform to women, and we're hanging in there, and people the thing is people know who we are, and and I'm really proud when some of the girls come through AEW to do extra work, and especially when I got to work with them, and they're like, "Do you know this person?" I was like, "Yeah, I know this person. She's been working with me in Mission Pro Wrestling for a couple years, and she's solid, and like the fact that I can say that, it's really awesome. And some of them, work in other promotions, and they made their names in other promotions, but the fact that they came 1, 2, 3, 4 times to Mission Pro, it's pretty cool. So it is a labor of love. I'm gonna tell you that it is. There's a lot of things right now because we have such new talent coming in the doors, as you guys saw in the last show. A lot of them have less than 3 years of experience working in pro wrestling, and we are trying to teach them very, very important skills in pro wrestling. One of them is that you need to know who you know, and you need to know that not everybody has the best interest in you. And this is not a storyline. This is real life.
Yeah.
If you guys want to call me a heel, damn right I'm a fucking heel, because I'm telling you the truth. But if not, I'm being realistic. I mean, tell me, let's with everything that is happening, the circumstances that have happened and that have come afloat in the last couple of months about certain things that have happened in the wrestling business. People don't have the best interest in you, especially if you're a female. So I'm gonna jump into the conversation with these later, but again, if you want to think I am a heel, yeah, then damn right I'm a heel. But I'm telling you the truth, and the truth hurts, and it's uncomfortable. So
Yeah, it is a difficult time with wrestling. As far as we know, all the news coming out, especially around. Well, I guess you can call he will not be named, but let's just say Mr. Ken. How women have been treated. There was the Speak Out movement as well. This what you told Izzy after her first win is this really kind of how tough love is? This like a mother, I guess a lesson as a mother you're really more pushing on her, or just in life? Because I mean she's almost there at adulthood. She's maybe a little over a year left from turning 18. So
yes. Listen, everybody's gonna criticize her because she's young, because she got into the business in a very different way that a lot of the women that are in professional wrestling right now haven't. She became a internet star because she was a Bailey fan, right? And some people say that she's copying Bailey's gimmick, which who cares if she is? Like, everybody's copying someone,
Yeah.
If like you have put a face paint, they tell you that you are this. If you put a mask, they're like, oh, you're a luchador, like you're copying. Like, everybody's copying someone. Whatever. But I think it is important for her to understand that now that you achieve something, you're not automatically gonna be on top all the time. You gotta fight harder, and you have to be more focused, and you have to understand that just things are gonna get even harder because of who she is and what she represents. She's like the new generation of wrestlers, the internet wrestlers, the internet darlings at this moment. Like, she is the epiphany of like that. Like that, she's the definition of that. She knows how to manage social media. She knows how to she has a bigger platform than a lot of people in the business currently has. And I want her to understand that it's a very important place for her to have at such a young age. And if nobody else has the guts to do that and tell her that, to smarten her up, then she's going to fall and burn. And I don't want her to go through
that.
Okay. So you've given her opportunity. I mean, we remember back and we've heard you were the one that wanted her to have her first match with Mission Pro. I've heard that story, and I think she told that story as well. And you gave her a match for the Mission Pro Cup at Mission Pro Mania. Are you wishing her success, or are you wishing JP success as we come? Because
well, JP's always been one of my favorites. Let me put that. And on the download, he was. You have that kid. I was, a counselor before. You have that kid that is the enfadoso, the kid that always gets on your nerves, but it's your favorite because he's always catching your attention because he's misbehaving. He's a brat. He's always have something snarky and funny, and it's so inappropriate, but you still laugh inside. That was JP for me. And then when I was injured, and this is a shoot, this is not a lie. He was the only one who actually reached out to me and Marvel, of course, but JP works at Marvel School, and he worked with me one-on-one along with Casey. Casey was doing it with me for a little bit, but JP and I we had this like relationship. I call him my son, and for a while I took him under my wing, like he tried to do with it.
You have to get him to squat down a little bit.
Under the wing. Took him under the wing, and I traveled with him a couple times just to like show him around and for him to see like there's more than Texas, and he went to AEW and stuff, and I guess in a way we are like repaying favors, and he paid that favor by really like helping me gain my confidence back as a wrestler, because it was a very difficult time when I was out for so long, and I didn't really know if I was gonna be if I still had it, and if I still like if there was something to like ignite the fire again. And he definitely helped me. Him and Beefcake, he's the attacking partner. So they really helped me a lot, and I think it's just time for the ladies at Mission Pro to understand that I will protect JP at all costs, because he was that right hand, the person that I needed when I was the lowest, and he stood up to the occasion. So I have a lot to repay to that boy, my son, mijo, es mijo, el mijo.
Yeah, I mean, that's as honest as you can get. So
Yeah. Sure.
Interesting that you take him under your wing, as you put it. Obviously, we know last year he was major part of the men's revolution, and seemed to be wanting to take down Mission Pro Wrestling. How interesting would this be as an all-women's promotion? Say he wins against Izzy, and he cashes in and gets a title shot and becomes the new Mission Pro champion. How would it look with a
We don't discriminate. That's what I can tell you. We don't discriminate. And Brian and I, we always had men in there. Yeah, there were the exhibition match, and there always been, and there will always be the exhibition match. So if in case and when JP beats Easy in the San Antonio Stampede match, he will have a chance to go against Tiffany. And Tiffany it's fiery, and she's not gonna let that championship go. So
Nope.
I like Tiffany too. She's little by little won my heart. So it will be interesting to see that match when it happens.
I would say this real quick. You versus Tiffany is a bit of a dream match for me right now, but maybe that's later on down. Yeah. So,
Same.
well, hold on. Let's play devil's advocate for a second. Then, what happens if Izzy wins this match, gets the cup, and takes her shot at the title again?
Oh, well, Brian is reminding us that Tiffany has to beat Rache.
This is also true. We haven't discussed what that match is going to be yet. So
yeah.
Can you repeat the question again?
I just said, you said confidently JP was going to win the cup and go on and cash in for a title match. But what if it happens the other way? What if Izzy pulls out a win, has the cup, has another title shot?
Well, like I was telling you, she's gonna have to be ready to work harder, because the obstacles are gonna be bigger, and definitely, as a coach, as an old school coach that I am, I'm not gonna make it just, for her to coast through. Like, she has to be built by, through fire, per se. Like she's this beautiful glass that needs to be shaped by fire, and that's what's gonna happen.
I mean, but can the fire get hotter than Kylan King when she who beat the absolute crap out of her repeatedly in that match? I'm just saying.
Also, JC, can you throw that Casey comment up there?
Yeah, I was about to right now, actually. Casey,
that's
held it for a year, had no idea I could have cashed in. So, is that like on the contract? Did he not? Is that like in the fine print? He didn't exactly read that, or what's going on here with that? So
yeah, it's that time. So sorry, Casey. Maybe next time you'll have to get in a chance for the cup. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Is like once you start climbing the ladder, you know that your opponents are not gonna get easier. They're just gonna get harder.
Well, yeah, no, that's true.
So,
and especially at Mission Pro, like y'all bring in top talent constantly. There's top talent that's there all the time.
And
So,
you
yeah.
never know. She might be facing people from the past too. Like, you never know. You never know who will be coming through her door. So she needs to be ready for everything. Like, again, if you are gonna be a top competitor in professional wrestling, you can't just continue to wrestle the same people. You have to wrestle people that are like more experienced than you are. They're probably better than you are for you to become a better competitor. Because otherwise, you stay the same, and it's just the hype. I mean, it's easy, just the hype. Is she gonna be able to come to rise to the occasion?
A match against a former AEW women's champion who never technically got pinned or lost that belt would also be a bit of a dream match. Just throwing it out there.
I mean, it could happen in the future. You never know. Again, I'm not against of anything, but right now my focus is with Lady Bird.
Of
As you guys
course.
saw,
Yeah.
Sure.
we had a little 2-minute match at AEW, and that's just a taste of like the fire that is inside me right now, that is ready to burst. And I'm pretty sure this other match that we're gonna have in on 420 on NPW Mania, it's gonna be fire. Like, I am really excited because I get to like wrestle in my house in the ring where I won the championship. Actually, if you didn't know, that's a ring where I won the championship in San Antonio.
Oh, wow.
That's the same ring they used in the cage and everything.
Yes.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it's like I always tell the girls that are coming in that this place, Mission Pro Wrestling, was built with sweat, blood, and tears. Literally. That's why it's so important. Is that's why we, like, everybody, the whole entire team, we fight so hard to keep our doors open. And this is like we have sacrificed a lot, time, money, relationships, like everything, to continue to run this because it's so important for all of us. It's not just to like say that we run a women's promotion, but it's like what it really means, right? And that's why. And if you guys see me like, man, you're jaded, you're just too hard. Why would you slap easy? Why would you do stuff like that? It's like, I'm not trying to do anything. I just trying to like make people understand that being La Jefa is not easy, because it comes with a lot of strings attached, and it comes with a lot of criticism, and it comes with a lot of stuff. But I don't want none of the girls that are working at NPW to go with what I went through. So that's why I'm just keeping it real with them.
For good reason.
Okay.
But I do have to ask an important question about this upcoming match as he has with JP Harlow. What exactly is a San Antonio Stampede match?
Thank you.
Because yeah.
Okay, what exactly is the San Antonio Stampede match?
Yeah.
Well, Harlow and I went to Goodwill to get special weapons for this match.
Okay.
So that video should be coming up pretty soon, so you guys can see what we're talking about.
Okay.
Then Carolyn and I had a meeting, and where I explained why I did what I did, and that's why I'm not telling you much about that, because I want you to understand my stuff. I want you guys to pay attention to all our social media and all our pre-tapes, because it is gonna get heated, and it is gonna feel like a telenovela, because it is what is happening. There's a lot of drama happening in Mission Pro Wrestling, and well, yeah. So there's gonna be. It is sanctioned by her parents, by the way, so don't start like shade.
No,
you already signed the release and everything and all that. So
they signed the permission slip. We get that.
Yeah, I know.
It is gonna be a match with a lot of weapons.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
all right. Well, I can't wait to see what that Goodwill shopping spree went. And
I was gonna say Goodwill and weapons matches in San Antonio. That's kind of redundant, isn't it? I mean,
look, I'm not gonna lie. We have been to promotions where it was fans bring the weapons, and yes, I did. I went to Dollar Tree and got a little creative, but so obviously this isn't going to be like, okay, Jason. Unfortunately, somebody did claim the kitchen sink that I did have, but if they're getting anything but the kitchen sink, I'm pretty sure I can get my hands on and give that to Izzy so she can actually take a little kitchen sink to the ring if need be. But how much fun is it to actually? Well, let me rephrase this. When you put together a show like Mission Pro, you're running 6 times a year. And so how much more difficult is it to get these storylines set up versus other promotions that run like 12 times a year, like once a month?
You know, it's been a team effort right now. Brian is the one who's in charge mostly of creative. Trenda and I and we have rewrite some of the stuff for some of the women. Like I told you, it is important right now because we have so many young women in there to help them come out with what their character really is and what they can really bring to the table. Not only, I'm not talking only about the moves in wrestling in the ring. So I'm talking about everything else as a whole package because that's what people are interested in, right?
Right.
Along with that, we're also trying to help them with PR by doing this kind of stuff and promoting themselves in a way in where there's more eyes on them. That is, again, it's not only what they do in the ring, is what they do outside of the ring. Because I think that is very attractive to bigger companies when they can see that these women can translate in other arenas besides professional wrestling.
Yeah.
I do have one question along those lines because me and Mike, we've talked to a couple of women's wrestlers who have said, "Oh, I'm just trying to get into Mission Pro. I'm trying to get there, trying to get to know me." How does it feel to know that you have a promotion where it's not only popular with fans, but you have other wrestlers saying, "I want to be there. I'm trying to get to know me so I can be there."
Well, it feels really good because we know that we are doing something that people are watching our product. We are continue to be on the top 10 on Title Match Network on views. On our last one, I mean, we had over 7,000. Our numbers are pretty high for an independent.
Very awesome.
And we're competing with AEW, we're competing with TNA, we're competing with other people, and people choose to watch us and plus the replays. So it means a lot. Like, and that means like we're putting a lot of effort in our production value too. As you guys saw and you were watching at home, we had 15 minutes of content in between the show, so people don't just like change the channel, so they can see what's going on. Roland Lugo, who's been the person that does all our videos for like hype and stuff, like he's been working with us for a long time, so he's been helping us a lot with that stuff. So yeah, the girls see that and they like that, and they also know that we treat them with a lot of respect, and we try to like be honest and treat them very professionally, because we really have high standards on what we do, and that's very important for us. And I feel like that's the reason why some have said that they want to come back. Some said that they heard from other people that this is one of the most professional places to work at, because we run like a squeaky wheel, and like I said, we're like, everybody's doing their stuff. Like Brian is in charge of doing all the ring setup and producing that. Emily and I production stuff, and wrestling, of course. We have agents, and we have so many other people doing other stuff with tickets. And it's been the same people helping us for a long time, which feels great. People have come, people have left, but I'm still very thankful for everybody that has been part of the team, because it's been, like everything has been growing pains, but we're still running. And now you guys were part of the show, like you were doing pre-show interviews, which is always good too, because that helps people local, especially we wanted to attract more local people at this point so they can watch that. And then we have the most respectful fans except Tommy. No, Tommy's fine. Oh, and no, Tony.
That guy Tony
was really good. Tommy was really
I was about to ask. Yeah, so that was his first time doing commentary.
But is that why I'll put him on there?
Just to make sure he wasn't yelling at Angel Blue?
Actually, he's very quiet. I was being the color commentator. He was being really quiet. And I actually wanted to, I was going to tell you, like, I would like to bring you back as a commentator pretty soon. To have you one of the girls. Yeah. You were on point, brother.
Well, I have an idea. So you know how much he loves Angel Blue.
Oh God.
Do you have any capacity where maybe some of the wrestlers want to do like guest commentary on a match or something?
I will have Angel Blue just with him on purpose.
That you know where I'm going exactly. So maybe throw Jasmine Allure there as well.
Yeah, Jasmine also. So
I mean, this is the worst day of my life. No, I take it back. Whenever I do commentary with Angel Blue, that will be the worst day of my life.
This is something that has never happened except
Yes.
for apparently him being on commentary.
I just didn't want to take over from. Okay, I was sitting next to the literal boss of the show, of the
Yes,
entire promotion. I wasn't trying to talk over the boss of the promotion. Okay,
Because he's trying to get higher, brother. That's what.
yeah.
Well, yeah. So
Thunder, in all fairness, though, you have had literal main events of yours not start because him and Jasmine are going back and forth, and she will not get in the ring, and he won't stop, she won't stop. This was like my second Mission Pro show, maybe my first, and I'm like, Tommy, let them start the match.
And it was Jasmine Lord. I said,
I think
no.
that's built into the time. They give it like the Tommy time, which is like 5 minutes for him to just yell at Jasmine.
Yeah, but that's what makes it interesting. But
She's confirmed it.
I met Tommy years ago when I first came to Texas.
Yeah.
The group hasn't changed, which is great. If Tommy's not in the show, it's not the show. Like
we're not gonna lie.
Tommy is the show. Yeah, there you go. So.
JC said this. Jason said this. One of our friends who's with us all the time. The first half of the show was weird.
Yes,
because there were not loud chants and not loud things being yelled. Like
but it was great because he did an amazing job in commentary.
No, he did. Yes. And I went back and watched it afterwards. He did, but it was weird as a fan in the show.
Yeah, but it was great. But before I leave, I also want to mention our new tag teams are going with the new NWA tag team holders, which is the Killer Bees. This match is gonna be fire. These two girls are new champions. Those girls, I love them. I really do love them. They're like spicy. They're hungry. And the Killer Bees, they left Mission Pro for a while.
Yeah.
They did their thing. They became champions in other places now. They recently became champions in NWA, which I was a former champion myself. So it's going to be very interesting to see this matchup. Two champions and see if they're going to retain, if it's going to change. Like, it's always very, very.
Well, I'm curious. Have you been in talks with NWA where this could potentially be a title for title type situation?
No, I have not.
No, okay. Just throwing it out there.
Worth asking. Yeah, after I saw them win the NWA Women's Tag Titles, I was like, "Oh snap! It's a champions versus champions match for the Mission Pro Tag Belts." This is the show. The show is already going to be fire just from the matches that have already.
Yeah. And I got to say, we had Maya World for an interview a couple months ago. Been impressed with her from day one. Still undefeated in Mission Pro. So when her and Kaya Dream called out the King Bees literally after winning the belts.
Yeah.
Like that was confidence, and that was like, we want the best, and that match is going to be amazing. Like on top of you and Ladybird, on top of the San Antonio Stampede, on top of the other matches we've already had announced, that one could right away steal the show and be an instant classic because they're all amazing.
And that's why, guys, thank you so much for having me. It's important that if you listen to us in all the groups, especially here in San Antonio, make an effort to come and watch us at Mission Pro Wrestling. Stay tuned for that championship news. Oh, there is a book. We have not talked.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting.
We haven't, but we're probably I'm gonna get all the news next week. Please buy your tickets at missionprowrestling.com.
Yes.
We are pretty much sold out of the front row tickets.
Yep.
General tickets are available. Probably next week. I need to talk to the team. We will be announcing something that will maybe encourage more people to buy tickets. And if you already bought it, we might try to get some discounts and stuff for, people could do so they can keep coming to the shows. We're the only female show that runs consistently in San Antonio, in the Midwest. Given again all the political stuff, you supporting women in sports in Texas means a lot. Like it really does. Like these women really work hard. They're traveling crazy amounts of hours to go to other bookings. Some of them are like Lady Bird is working in LBW now. Like she's out there. Like they're making a lot of sacrifices to live their dreams. And I can tell you, being a female athlete myself, it hasn't been easy. And without your guys' support, the fans, it is very difficult for us to get to places. So make sure you bring your kids. There's a lot of girls that are coming because of EC. There's a lot of girls coming because they love women's professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Same. If
Absolutely.
you bring your girlfriend, they will fall in love with it. And if you want
Yeah.
to be, by the way, it's 420. We know what people do on 420. If you want to come and chill at Mission Pro Wrestling.
Just don't do it.
Just
At,
don't do it at
it's
the
still
show.
Texas.
Don't
It's
do
not
it.
legal here.
If you do, make sure you leave all the stuff in your car because
No.
Yeah.
I know the Salvation Army appreciates that, but geez, hold up.
yes, and all the munchies that you get and the stuff that you buy at
Hey.
the Salvation Army, all
Yeah,
the money
well,
goes
that's next.
straight to them. Seriously,
That's how you sell concessions. There you go.
no,
Yeah,
it's like all
Yeah.
the concessions go back to the Salvation Army.
Right.
We have helped them raise a lot of money because of our shows. Like it really means a lot for
Yeah,
them.
that and the toy drives and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yes.
it's important. So, and not only the fact that JP is gonna beat the crap out of EC, and I
Oh,
will
boy.
be having a great match with Lady Bird, which I will be
Yeah.
releasing a very interesting promo pretty soon. I want you to understand that it is important to have all of single of you, your asses sitting at Mission Pro Wrestling. What is it? How do you feel about when Sinclair in NXT, knowing that she debuted first at MPW? Yo, Ren Sinclair has
Yeah.
a very special spot in my heart.
Uh-huh.
Maddie Rankowski, she's still Maddie to me.
Yeah,
Still made all of
a
them,
lot
I
of
think.
people.
I love her parents. I love her.
Yeah.
I work with her partner too at AEW, and she is one of those that I was like, why in the fucking fuck was she in? Like, she's so talented. I remember bringing
Yeah.
her, it was her, Jasmine, and another talent to AEW, and I have pictures from that moment, and I was super proud of them three because they're all from Texas. They're all like really hardworking people, and now she is signing NXT, and they're pushing her because they see what we all saw in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really beautiful to see her succeed. Like the same with Roxanne.
Yeah.
Who else? Oh my God, there's so many. There's so
Well,
many women there.
I mean, it's honest. Like if Mr. Pro was a little bit earlier, you could have had Roxy at the time on there, right? But it's Maddie Rankowski, Ren Sinclair, the first hybrid graduate to be signed to WWE. Is this the first Mission Pro talent signed to WWE or pretty damn close?
No, we had Teresa Serrano. She doesn't go for Serrano. She's in Raw right now.
Okay.
We were supposed to make her a champion, and then I called her like, "Hey, you're gonna be the first champion," and she's like, "By the way, I am probably not gonna be able to come because I'm getting signed." And I was like,
Wow.
"Say no mo."
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's done Royal Rumble. She freaking
Yeah.
2 Royal Rumbles. I think she didn't. Did she do it at WrestleMania? But she did another big. She didn't do it at WrestleMania, but she did.
She went to WrestleMania. I think it was like
SummerSlam or Money in the Bank or something?
I think it was SummerSlam and Money in the Bank that like last year.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Brian says half of NXT worked for MPW, which is true.
I mean, he's not entirely wrong.
They all came through our doors, so like we're blessed. Like we're blessed that so many Italians have come through the doors, and I'm telling you, the first generation of MPW graduates, they were so hungry. We were a little older than the girls that we work right now, so everybody was like, "Hey, sign me now!" Like pay me, let's go. And, so it's really cool to see that. But I'm very, very proud of Maddie. She works very hard, and I know she's doing great at NXT.
Absolutely.
Now, I do want to ask you about the latest match that was announced, Angel Blue versus Queen Uju. This is a bit of an interesting matchup here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's done that. I know Tommy loves that. But Angel Blue herself has gotten back into wrestling fairly recently, has had her own bout. She's come on the show and talked about recovering from major surgery, painkiller addictions. Ran her first marathon in December, actually, this past December. So pretty awesome. How interesting is this match going to be? This is kind of an interesting matchup too. I don't know if these two have ever faced each other, but
they probably have maybe in the Dallas area, but I think Angel Blue it plays a really important part in Mission Pro right now because, like I said, we have very few veterans that have been able to work with pretty much all the talent that has been out there. That has been like Lainey Luck, Ali Cat, like the talent that is really hot in the indies. she used to work with Athena back in the day, you know, Baby
Yeah.
D. So she knows, she's worked the guys for a long time. She worked, we had so many feuds. So she's so important to help this new talent to go through through hell, because she let's say Angel Blue knows what she's doing. So it's gonna be one of those matches in where a veteran is gonna really teach the way again.
It's still crazy to me to call her a veteran, because I remember when she debuted at 17 years old in ACW, and that seems like so long ago. Yeah,
That was a long time ago.
yes, so
Yeah.
I remember that. It's like, wow, now she's a veteran of this business. It's amazing. So
I mean, this is my 11th year in wrestling, and I am. I don't consider myself a veteran, but when I look at the people that I'm working with, and I'm like, damn, they're like children. So yeah, I am.
Several of them still teenage years. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, Tommy, anything nice you want to say to Angel Blue or Jasmine Lore about them or anything? So
No, that's not at all what this show was about. I had nothing that I could make up in time to say nothing nice about those two. So I can say I love Mission Pro Wrestling. It's one of the best promotions ever.
Yeah, that's for you guys. Always been great with us. Thank you for coming to pretty much all the shows. I want to put it out there for all the groups. We are open for sponsorships, for individual sponsorships, and also for company sponsorships. We have different prices. A lot of the stuff that we're offering is a lot of PR that you'll get from my page, from my YouTube, in which you can subscribe. At Thunder Rosa 22, we are getting to 72,000 followers. Thank God. We're looking for 100,000 followers.
Almost there.
We have shows on Mondays. I have my taco vlog. I have the vlog every Saturday. So we're always having like commercials in between. The same with on a Mission every Tuesday for Mission Pro Wrestling. Don't forget to subscribe on Mission Pro Wrestling and YouTube and all our social media. And just stay tuned. There's a lot of stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. We did a lot of cool stuff for you guys, so you guys can see what is Mission Pro Wrestling all about. And that, again, the most important part, and I want to leave this with you guys, just remember, not everybody is your best.
Thunder, before you go, we also want to say one more thing, because we are super happy to have you at NostalgiaCon in May with us on the Friday and Sunday. Thank you so much for that. Obviously, guys, that's in May. We'll be talking about that a lot. But Thunder Rosa will be at our table. Hybrid School of Wrestling will be there having matches. So really looking forward to that after Mission Pro Mania. So thank you again for doing that for us. We are really looking forward.
No, thank you guys. I appreciate the invitation. And if you want to hear me talk about Revolution and Sting last match, you can hear me tomorrow on Busted Open from.
Yeah, I asked as I wanted to ask, but yeah,
so,
I know I
I'll
can't.
be talking about that tomorrow. So.
That's fair.
Yeah. I'll just ask her. Yeah. So it's Busted Open, and yeah, we'll talk later on the show about Sting's last match in his career. I know Mike, old school WCW fan that he is, misses the Surfer Sting. So I do. Yeah. So amazing stuff. So. Yeah. Thank you very much for coming on the show. We look forward to Mission Pro Mania. By the way, whose idea was it to put the sign on the backboard?
I loved it. That was That was Emily May. Like she's like our interior decorator. She's like, I need a little sign. And
you know,
that is the cheesiest, most cool thing ever. And then when JP was pointing it with like
with that finger thing,
Mickey Mouse pointing
so much.
What is going on?
I hated that thing so much.
It was great. It was great. I love my team.
Yeah, it was.
It's although we're like certain things are really independent wrestling. Some of them are really awesome because we put our hearts and our souls on everything we do. But yeah, she's an interior decorator.
Yeah, it shows.
All right, amazing. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
This was kind of a bucket list interview to have you on the show. I'm looking forward.
So,
thank you very much.
You're gonna see me more every show, so start getting used to it.
Awesome.
Right, definitely, for sure. So,
thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll see you. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Wow.
All right.
Been a great year so far, guys. So yeah, Mission Pro Mania. If that doesn't get you excited about what is to come down the road, we're still over about a month and a half away from that event.
Yeah. But it's already getting hyped up to be a gigantic show.
Yes, definitely. definitely. So, all right. Well, thank you again to Thunder Rosa. We're going to get right into the show. We're going to talk briefly about TNA No Surrender, WWE Elimination Chamber, this past weekend's Hybrid Experience, Heartbreakers 2, RCW 22, and then, of course, talking about AEW Revolution. Before we get into that, let's talk a little bit of wrestling news, and one that, unfortunately, we do have to say, rest in peace. Well, it's always sad when we do that, but Virgil has passed away. I forget what age they said he was when he passed.
61.
61, I
61.
think.
God,
Yeah.
so young.
But also Ole Anderson was
Ole
Ole
Anderson, yeah,
Anderson,
that one too.
he
That
was
just came out.
he was the day before, like, wasn't he?
Yeah, kind of under the
I think
radar
so.
with that one too. Like everyone was talking about Virgil, his just kind of fell under the radar a bit. But yeah,
No,
so-
Yeah.
no. Honestly, it must have for you because I saw Ole Anderson's name everywhere for like that whole day.
my
Yeah, I
my
saw both
social
of
media has
them.
been flooded with softball wrestling stuff
That's
down right
true,
now.
yeah.
So yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, but
So-
no.
Mike, any favorite memory with Virgil that you might have?
You know what's funny is his original face turn in WWE, like, or WWF at the time. Like, I remember that because you know me, I've been watching since like the mid '80s, so I remember him being with the $1 Million Man for a long time as kind of the bodyguard and stuff. You know, his infamous pay the oh, I'll give you $10 to the kid if you dribble the ball,
Yeah,
and then they kick it away. Like, he was there for all that.
That was
But
one
then
of the most
when
messed
they-
up things I'd ever seen.
It was, but then when they started the thing and like Roddy Piper was on his side trying to convince him to get away, like I mean, I don't want to say it was on the level of like a yes movement or whatever, but at the time the fans were really behind it.
Yeah.
yeah,
It was such a great story. $1 Million Man, especially at the time, was so easy to hate. It was a great story. It's kind of unfortunate that he could never fully get a lot of momentum after that behind the character, but
Yeah.
he stuck around. Like, he stuck around WWE for a while, then we know he went to WCW. Right. Sean just said it. NWO.
everybody was in the
he was a
NWO. I
part
swear
of
to
that.
God, Jesus, so-
Yeah, but he was relatively early.
Okay.
Like, before it got to like four. What's the
Before
famous
it was
quote? Like,
3/4 of the
What-
roster was in NWO.
well, there was, I forgot who said it. Like, one day I show up and there's like 3 limousines full of people coming out, and he's like, I don't even know who's in the NWO anymore.
Yeah.
But he was pretty early in there. Like, I think DiBiase came in as money early on,
Yeah,
and then I think he wasn't too far behind. Kind of like
follows
they were
suit.
trying to connect it back to
Yeah.
WWE.
Right.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, he was, he was a great story. And then I know people kind of mocked him. There was that long thing about the no line, but he just seemed like he was always cool with people, like always messing around, having a good time.
And also, like, he kind of leaned into that joke himself. Like, I think it's like it's
Right.
like he just like kind of like had fun with it. So that's why I was like, I never really felt bad about that joke because he started laughing about it. He was like,
he embraced it. He embraced
Yeah.
it definitely. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, rest in peace to Virgil. Rest in peace to Ole Anderson. Another bit of breaking news, guys. Did you know that WWE has filed a lawsuit against the Attorney General of Texas, Ken Paxton?
Yes, I saw that.
I did not. What
And
is
this
that
is
about?
related to the 2023 Royal Rumble, which took place in San Antonio. Apparently, with a lot of big events like this, a lot of cities or countries will bid for the right to host these events.
Yeah.
And San Antonio bid on the 2023 Royal Rumble. Well, there's been a public information request from a journalist, Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics, filed it last February. They're asking for public records related to the Rumble, including bidding information, sales, stuff like that. Who knows if he's doing it for an article? And WWE is trying to block. Originally, the Attorney General wasn't going to release that. Their city of San Antonio doesn't want to, but they're basically making San Antonio do it now. And WWE has sued to try and get that information blocked. So interesting to see how this lawsuit plays out, because this could set a precedent for bidding information for other events.
But
It
also, especially with things that have happened, like, it just gives off bad vibes.
Yeah.
Whether it is or not, like, it's just, why do you not want this information out? There's,
Yeah, that
feel like
that
there's
does
some bad stuff
that feels
going on.
suspect at the highest
Yeah.
order. So yeah.
Yeah. When the request was originally made, the AG said the city was allowed to withhold the information. This was back in April of last year, 2023. But he changed his mind this past January. The journalist is trying to get that information. WWE is trying to sue to block it. So This is I don't know what the point is for this, Jason.
Yeah,
I
I'm
assume
confused too.
I assume this is related to some sort of article that that WrestleNomics is trying to research for about bidding for how much cities bid for like WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, how much did Perth bid for Elimination Chamber, for example. Who knows? Who knows what the point of this is?
Well, okay.
Well, yeah, and literally from everything I've heard about him, because I've heard other people talk about that Brandon Thurston, like he's literally just like the numbers guys of wrestling when it comes to like tickets and ratings and stuff like that, like the money. Like, you know, every time WWE goes to a new show and they're like, oh, this was the largest grossing SmackDown in Tennessee or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, he kind of checks on a lot of those and I guess puts out stuff related to that, you know. So yeah. But the fact that they're trying to block it, like anytime you say that, like, why don't you want that out?
Who knows? Yeah, another breaking news there.
Oh, we won?
The Spurs beat the Thunder tonight. Yes.
Nice.
That means we need to get Thunder Rosa on the WrestleCast every time the Spurs are playing at this point. So yeah, so that's just the way I see it.
I mean, I'm down.
Yeah.
Also, Wemby greater than Chet for Rookie of the Year. So.
Yeah. So that's a man among boys right now sometimes, especially when he's just like not even jumping to block a shot. That was hilarious. All right.
Who does this and he's taller than the goal?
Yeah.
There's some small news. Sean Spears showed up on NXT out of nowhere, which was really cool. And it was Sean Spears.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not Ty Dillinger. It's Sean Spears. So that was really cool. And also connected to NXT is Tama Tonga is believed to have signed with WWE.
I've been looking for confirmation of that. It's been heavily rumored.
Right.
Yeah, but
it's believed, but nothing official. But also there may be reasons for that. So
I'm interested I'm interested to see. Obviously, we know the Samoan heritage of this. Is he going to somehow get involved in WrestleMania, post-WrestleMania? Is this going to be a bloodline thing? I mean,
I've seen posts that said they consider him part of. I don't know if that's just people hoping.
Some branch way over here on the family tree kind of thing.
Well, again,
I don't know how.
Go back.
I don't know how Haku falls into this with that. So I don't. Hold on.
Well, again, go back to The Rock at that WrestleMania press conference. He said it from the jump. Their family and my family made a blood pact. There's not actual blood connection for some of them. It's just kind of been accepted that they're all family.
I think if you're Samoan, you're all related unless you're Samoa Joe. We know he's not related to them. That's basically
ironically.
Yes, ironically, that's the.
But you know what? Maybe he did that to specifically point out. Yes, I'm Samoan, but I am not in the
He's
family.
like, they're on this part of the island. I'm over here. You know, so it's.
Well, I am a Samoa, but I am a Samoa Joe.
The better joke though is that Roman Reigns' real name is Joe Anai, so it's like Samoa Joe.
Yeah. For sure.
Jason, but also I think most people expect him at AEW Dynamite Big Business. Why are we calling it Big Business in Boston? I don't know. No big deal. Actually, apparently in the logo you see like Boss Time or something like real small.
Well,
interesting.
If Okada and Mercedes debut the same night and don't have make a stable called Big Business, I'm actually going to be a little bit sad because it's the Rainmaker and she's all about money. And if they don't make a business related stable that for no reason whatsoever Ted DiBiase joins, I'm just going to be a little bit sad.
No, Cameron Grimes, he's the modern day millionaire now. So.
That's right. Final bit of wrestling, as I said, if you have not played Mortal Kombat 1 and you are interested in it, you might be wanting to get it now and download the new DLC. Peacemaker has been released. I have been watching some gameplay on it. I've gotten some feedback from friends that have the game. Let me just say, this might be John Cena's best work ever because the voiceover work and the amount of shit that his character talks in that game is amazing. Go check it out. And from what I've heard from people that play this game, like competitively, he's like, dude, Peacemaker's actually really good. So just find some videos, enjoy it.
Well, it's good he's giving some positive PR because he hadn't had the best the last couple of weeks.
I know recently, but
Seriously,
for sure. So, let's see, March 6th.
Oh, yeah, that's another interesting thing. Everyone assumed Julia was going to WWE after she left. There's now rumors that she's going to stick with the guy Rossi was going to make his own promotion and not go to WWE either, and they're going to stay over in Japan. I don't know. I saw that.
Well, you know why, right?
No.
Well, a lot of wrestlers are not really happy with Bushiroad for firing him in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So he's started his own thing, and Julia is good. I wouldn't be surprised if Mayu Iwatani, who they said has been kind of down since he left, goes over there too whenever her contract expires. So you never know. So
interesting.
All right. Well, let's move on to what happened this past weekend. We'll start with TNA No Surrender, the first pay-per-view under the TNA, or the first TNA Plus exclusive event under the rebranded TNA banner. The first one without Scott D'Amore, I should say. And some interesting results here on this one. I didn't get to see the show, but I was actually very surprised that the main event was actually the X Division title match.
So was I.
You guys realize that, but Mustafa Ali.
I saw that later, but
yeah, Mustafa Ali defeated Chris Sabin. I think we had all called that one for sure.
Yeah.
But Tommy, the Knockouts Tag Team Championship match. MK Ultra defeats Decay. Is this going to be where these teams are just trading the title back and forth at this point? Because it seems like that right now.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I'm okay with that. Because
Tommy, I heard there were some clips of the match that you were sharing around the internet. I don't. Can you enlighten us on that, or?
That depends. Who's gonna see this? Who's gonna see this video?
There's still people in the chat, so
yeah. Oh, then no, Mike. I haven't shared anything from that match. I don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy, dude. I don't know. Just stop listening to internet rumors.
I do listen to a lot of internet rumors. This is true. So
yeah, those are fun.
Look, all I'm saying is my alternate reality ex-wife. Again, it's probably my alternate reality fling, Killer Kelly. And so, and I'm just saying that match was hot for all the wrong and right reasons.
And Tommy was kind of hoping instead of like a ladder match for the belts, it could have been like, put Tommy on something up that they have to get Tommy, and then the winner gets like possession of Tommy. I think that's what he was hoping for.
I don't remember saying that, but I definitely agreed with it. Like, so that's the plan. TNA, call me up. Let me know when I got to be wherever the
Jason, it's I don't think it's anybody's birthday. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Jason, dude, my birthday's not till May, bro.
Yeah, mine's in July. So.
Yes.
Jason's is next week though.
Mine is next week. Yes.
Pretty soon.
So. Moose retained the championship over Alex Shelley and will now be defending it against Eric Young after Eric Young defeated Frankie Kazarian. So that's going to be his next title defense. Jordan Grace, of course, retained. PCO wins by DQ. Somehow PCO still wins the match, right? So.
And this is New Japan news, but Nick Nemeth won the IWGP Global Championship and will be defending it in TNA pretty soon, I read. So.
And then didn't Riddle win a belt?
He won the TV title.
Okay.
Oh, he did officially win it. Okay, yeah. I remember they was challenged. So I like the promo, by the way, when he put the challenge, like, I have to go research who that is. That's
good. Riddle won the TV belt too. So.
All right. Well, as far as our pick results on this, Mike and Tommy both went 5-2, and I went 6-1 on that. I always do well with TNA. I don't know why. It's just it's that way. So yeah. So definitely a good show. One that I do want to check out. I didn't get to watch it yet. It was quite a busy week, and That being said, no, I did not wake up at 4:00 in the morning to watch Elimination Chamber.
And no, I didn't stay up to watch it either. I might have gone to bed right as it was starting, but I didn't stay up to watch it.
Yeah. So, but this one has been much talked about. Really, definitely. And I got to say this. Can we make Sharpies and dry erase markers in the chamber a thing? Because that
Logan Paul.
Yeah. So
I mean, sure.
Also, you could tell they had fans under the grating of the pods, because when they would get those close up, like with Tiffany, and then with some of them that had the hair, you would kind of see it like floating up a little bit, looked all like a movie.
Because they said it was you just like Tiffany, dude. It's okay to say that, dude. Just no.
Okay, but you also know, with all due respect to her, of all the people in that match,
I know
she wasn't number one. I don't mean that as any disrespect.
I
That's
know.
just a face thing, but just saying.
I will say this: if they ever get John Morrison back in WWE and he's in that chamber, they need to have his fans and then slow motion that,
I was gonna say like
Yeah.
they could do like a Tony Storm thing. Every time the camera's on him, it's slow motion and he's flinging his hair around. So-
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of that, shout out to Raquel Rodriguez, local Texan. If you followed her on social media, she has talked about her battle. She wasn't out injured for a while. She had, what is it called? I have to look it up real quick, but it's some sort of thing where she breaks out almost like a, like a rash all
What
over her
is the name of
body.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I looked it up. She has a name. Anyways, apparently when she flew over to Australia, she had a flare up on her face.
Oh my god.
And so she went no makeup in the match because like her face was, I guess, kind of inflamed or whatever, but wrestled the match and kind of talked about it afterwards, talked about her week, and or on Instagram she shared a post. So shout out to her. I believe RCW just shared a thing where she was at their show back in 2016.
Yep.
And I know last year she moved back from the Florida area to Texas. So
Yeah.
shout out to her for wrestling through that, dealing with that. And also, I'm sure it's hard to be open about that because that's got to be hard when your job, a big part of your job is like looking aesthetically nice and
Yeah.
having to deal with like your skin breaking out in horrible rashes. So,
But as terrible as this is to say, I'm going to say it anyway. You can tell clearly that someone else is in charge of WWE now because if that had been in charge when he who shall not be named was there, she'd have been fired immediately.
yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So,
Well.
so
Well, thankfully he's not there anymore, right? So
Thank
yeah,
God.
thanks for that. So results for this: Kabuki Warriors retained the women's tag team championship. Becky Lynch, the women's Elimination Chamber opened. Becky Lynch ended up pinning Liv Morgan last on that one after Liv Morgan had quickly pinned Bianca Belair, and then
yeah.
so Becky Lynch will be challenging Rhea Ripley, who defeated Nia Jax in the main event of the evening. The Judgment Day defeated the New Catch Republic, and Drew McIntyre won the men's Elimination Chamber and will now be challenging.
What was our
Seth
one
Rollins.
miss? What did we get? I thought I got all of them.
You guys, I think I took the New Catch Republic. Or Indy
No, I
Hartwell.
didn't.
You guys might have taken Lorraine and Indy Hartwell.
Did we bet it, or did we choose that?
Yeah,
I think we
did.
chose
Yeah,
that
I
at the
did
very
choose that.
end. Yeah.
It was
the
at the
very
very
end.
end because they
yeah.
added it. Yeah, you guys took Indy and Candice, and I took the Kabuki Warriors. That was the one that I got.
What else did I miss? Oh no, wait, I missed the.
You took New Catch Republic. That's
I
what it
took
was.
New Catch Republic. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, my miss was I took LA Knight to win the mids, and then
Gotcha.
hey, just pull the trigger, right? So.
Mhm.
But I do love the fact that Drew McIntyre is still saying, "Hey, I was hurt, but I still powered through it. I didn't pull a CM Punk thing." So then
Yeah.
he's keeping this shit
Yo,
alive.
so I don't know if y'all guys saw Sean Ross Sapp's post. He said we're gonna add a biggest hater of the year award to this
For
year's-
his Fightful Awards.
Yeah, and the funniest part was he had Drew McIntyre there, which I was like, oh no, easy. But then he had Nigel McGuinness, and I was like, ooh,
And-
actually,
And
that's
Christian.
good. And Christian, I was like, oh wait, this is actually
Yeah, that's
really
gonna be a tough one. Yeah, I prayed for this and it happened.
Drew McIntyre ain't been shit since
Like-
Punk has been injured.
Oh my god,
Like,
it's so great though.
it's crazy when like you've been good, but then you just find that one character thing that pops for you, and it's a whole another level. Because that's what he's on right now.
I mean,
Like-
him and Christian talking about everybody's dead fathers. So
Yeah, like it's just another level for McIntyre that not even his and his COVID title run. This is just something different, man.
yeah.
Which by the way, it happened to pop up on my TikTok. I was scrolling. I guess there was a documentary about the WrestleMania nobody attended, and much of that was pre-taped. So
Yeah.
Drew actually got to be at home watching WrestleMania with his
Himself won the
wife.
title. Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
about
watched
that.
himself win the title. It was something him and his wife never really got to see, and he didn't tell his family he was winning, so they watched it and they called him afterward. And his wife actually kind of ceremoniously gave him the title while they were on the couch after he officially got the pin and aired on
that's
was it
pretty
Peacock?
cool.
WWE Network at the time. So yeah,
And it was Peacock by then.
yeah. So.
Not to totally go off, but you know how like for us we remember 9/11, and then like I'm teaching kids now who weren't even born during 9/11, right?
Yeah,
This generation that's going to tell their kids about like COVID and like what those 2 years were, where the world just stopped.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just insane. Like the fact that we're talking about, hey, this WrestleMania that has always been the biggest show of wrestling of the year in their little workout place where no one was. Like it's insane. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just mad I didn't buy the shirt that said WrestleMania whatever. I wasn't there because they put those shirts out like
Those
attendance
shirts
zero.
were, and I was mad I couldn't get one either.
Yeah,
I could get one. I could
we
get one
all
if I was
attended.
broke.
I think to date it's still the most attended WrestleMania event ever. 32 in Arlington. I think that was still. Is that still the biggest? I
As
can't
far as
remember.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
For
It's not
WrestleMania.
in the top 5.
Yeah,
Like for a single night, yeah.
for a single night. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
still
yeah,
is.
for a single night, yeah.
Yeah. So we don't count these 2 night things, right?
Yeah. Not as a total, right?
Yeah. Did you guys get to watch Chamber? Because I haven't.
Yes.
I didn't.
You
I didn't
did.
watch it.
You didn't get to watch it.
No,
Well,
I
Mike
didn't.
will. Our picks results on that. Tommy went 3-2. Mike and I went 4-1. The kids are still on 11 right now. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and
So,
some of us are just old, Jason.
Yeah. I was in college when it happened.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, Mike, what is your rating for Elimination Chamber? And
Uh,
if you're watching, feel free to type in your rating.
I'll go like a 4.25. Like the chamber matches were good. They had a lot of drama, a lot of cool stuff. It did feel somewhat predictable, and I think I knew that Candice and Indy weren't going to win that, but like I can't go against them with Indy and in Australia. She's still part of the greatest love story that WWE ever told. So
Yeah.
um,
No lie.
but I also understand why it was kind of predictable because we are really just getting to WrestleMania, and the worst kept secret of Becky versus Rhea, so I think that takes away a little bit from it, even though we know what was coming. Although there are some people talking about Liv getting a Daniel Bryan-like thing because she's real popular, and some people are starting to turn on Becky, which I find kind of interesting. I want to see how long that lasts, or if it really gets into anything big. So
Triple threat.
yeah.
That happened.
Oh, but could you imagine that happening to Becky again?
To be fair, when it happened to her the first time, it did result in double titles. So let's just
You're not wrong.
She's the
but-
one that won coming out of that. Yeah. So
yeah.
you die a hero,
Yeah.
see yourself live long enough to become a villain, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it's kind of become. Same thing is
Yeah.
happening to Bianca. A lot of people are kind of tired of her Superman stuff I've seen. So it'll be interesting.
Well, those people are just haters.
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
just saying.
they are for the next 2 hours.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So we went from TNA to Elimination Chamber to what took place this past Saturday night, the Hybrid Experience, Heartbreakers 2. How much fun was this show, guys? You guys were.
it's hybrid is always awesome.
Yeah.
They put on a great show. Shout out to Talboy 2, who is now the ring announcer. Obviously, without Terry there, he did a pretty good job.
He did.
Learning the ropes there, but yeah, like it's a good show. There was a match between the Professor Jesse James and Animo. It was Animo, right? That was their match.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm blanking.
And you'll come back very quickly because he came out in a gi that was Dragon Ball Z inspired.
Yeah.
Tommy made some jokes. Our friend, I got another story. I don't mean this in a bad way. I found out there's more connection with Amanda, but you had Amanda popping because she gets all the anime jokes, and then I think Tommy stopped watching the match. He just kept throwing out jokes related to Dragon Ball Z and anime. And there were 2 people that got him, but they were cracking up. So
I don't care. They were laughing. I popped Amanda. I won that night. I don't give a damn.
But Jesse James was pretty brutal in that match. So he, I don't think he tapped out. He made him pass out, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think the referee.
Yeah, well, we'll get to tag team anarchy, Jason.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
But in a more civilized tag team match, the Flocking Brawlers had a good tag team match against Tommy Bolton and Ryan Reven. I always forget his name. Ryan Reven. Yeah. And that was ahead of their match on Sunday night, which was amazing. But
yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah.
What else do we have? There was a women's tag match.
Callie lost again.
Yeah.
And she got speared by her own partner.
Ridley, we're down with you for that. Look. I talked to you after the show, Ridley.
Callie lost.
I don't think you should trust Callie. When y'all go to RCW, it's Callie and Tita and the Cholas. She doesn't consider herself a part of y'all. She considers herself like y'all's leader. And, Ridley, you got the power. You got something good going on. We're just saying, spear her again. But that led to, Izzy wasn't officially on the show. But after that match, Celine Hysteria, who also, Celine, you're pretty cool. You don't need Callie. You and Ridley could be an awesome tag team. Just throwing that out there. The three of them, though, did enter the ring to start surrounding Key and Gia, who worked together to the shock of a lot of us.
This multiverse is getting confusing.
We literally had to yell, Callie, you pissed them off so bad, they started working together. If you've been to Hybrid or RCW for the past 2 years, Key and Gia on site pretty much. Stone Cold and The Rock, if you will. Callie shows up, pisses them off so bad, they're a team now. But out of nowhere, Izzy showed up to even the odds. And somehow, Hella kept 6 women from tearing each other up, which was an accomplishment in and of itself. Because they were face to face, and she kept them separated. So, okay, who is Exodus Creed? What?
I don't know, but they were at both.
I don't know, but here we go.
Okay, that was not at Hybrid though. At Hybrid, I tried to take a picture with Callie because I thought we were cool. It just so happened that I held the sign at a height right in front of her face. She's short, so I didn't hold the sign up that high. Okay,
she's short. I know how you said that.
Not
so
wrong.
matter of fact.
It happened to be in front of her face. Rob Love thought it was hilarious. He was right there. Stud Stash was right there. But yeah, the treats. What was it? The treats in the Texas Kingdom, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it's Christian. Okay.
What's up, man?
What's up, Christian? They realized that was you. Yeah, so there was a tag team match as the main event, right? It was the main event, right?
Probably was the main event. This was right before.
Oh, you're right. And anyway, that broke down, and a bunch of other tag teams got involved, and they just started brawling all over Hybrid, which was awesome. But yeah, it broke down.
There is one thing we forgot.
What's that?
David Kidd now officially has 2 wins over Alex Arsenal.
Does have that.
Wow.
Because he won the match, but then he chased him around. They ran back in the ring. The referee counted 3 again.
3? No, it was 3.
No, because the referee pinned him the 3rd time.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Floyd Curl and David Kidd have both beaten Alex Arsenal.
Yeah. That's quite a night.
Very cool.
And then the 5-way, we weren't really sure if it was if our Hybrid doesn't have a men's heavyweight title. I find this odd.
Yeah,
right?
Well, they have the rising star title, but that's just for the up and comer.
Yeah.
Right, but they don't have a heavyweight. So I don't know if this 5-way was leading to eventually want to do one, but that was a pretty crazy match in and of itself. That one was Jay Young.
Yeah.
Who came out of that. Yeah. I got to give it to Jay Young. He's, no pun intended, he's young, but he's got size, he's got skill. He's a pretty impressive kid. So,
yeah. I think I enjoy this shows too because it's a lot of the young talent that this is a good experience for them too to have that.
Yeah.
So, yep. All right, on to that. From there, RCW 22. Took place this past Sunday. You can rewatch it on Title Match Network, by the way, if you haven't gotten to see it yet, like myself. So,
well, she had to go stick up for her friends, Jason. I don't think she knew she was going to get involved.
Yeah, sure. But it's somehow comforting that Izzy's parents have no idea what's going on either. It's that kind of makes you feel better. It's oh, good. You don't know what's happening either.
She saw Callie standing in the ring, so they were looking eye to eye. From the floor. So
from the floor, I was about to say, how does she see her in the ring when she's?
Yeah, no, they were eye to eye, but Izzy was on the floor. Callie was in the ring. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's also true.
No, we don't.
We were trying over 2 shows all weekend to figure out. Marvel did say it was not Christopher Daniels.
Okay.
We think it may have been TJP, but he also had Suicide merch. So it was someone who, that's why we think maybe TJP, but we don't know. Over 2 nights.
Was it the same person both nights, or could you tell a
Yeah.
difference?
No,
It
no,
The
no.
was.
same person both nights.
It was the same
You
person.
just
You
don't
can
know
tell.
who
Well,
it
they're
was.
doing a great job keeping
Yeah,
it.
but that does lead us to RCW, as you said.
Yeah.
Turns 22.
RCW 22, and congratulations again on 22 years. It is simply amazing too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Insane.
Great celebration at the beginning. They brought out Brandon. The crowd came around. No way.
He thinks it is.
If that was Austin Aries, then I've officially met all members of Generation Next. But I don't.
Oh,
I don't
Sean,
know.
you just blew Mike and Tommy's minds right now.
No, but I don't think it was him because he lost the main event and he didn't immediately walk. No, I'm sorry. All right.
Oh.
Damn. Oh, I'll do the whole full one. Damn. It's okay.
And he's not.
Golf clap. Golf clap. Wow.
No, because when he was doing signings at the beginning, he didn't have his gloves on, so we could see non-African American hands, if you want to put it that way.
I mean,
unless he was a light skin, but
I mean,
February 29th. Yeah. So.
anyways, some highlights from RCW Tours 22. Both JP Harlow and Vince Jackson got squished in different ways by the Puerto Rican juggernaut who's playing them was tagged on the clips RCW.
Oh, have to check that out.
Okay, you pay attention to things, Christian. I like about you.
Always
like, you
on
notice it. But yeah, so the JP had a match with Angel Camacho, who probably a legit 500 pounds, four, close to 5. And Vance was, you think he normally refs bad. He wasn't. He was just blatantly not, or he was blatantly trying to help JP. And Angel finally got tired of it. So he hit him. He finally hit JP with like a belly to belly or something that, just a good squashing that he deserved. Vance was forced to pin. And then Vance looked real upset. And immediately the fans, because anytime Vance comes out, we're like, hit the ref. And Angel obliged and then went to the corner for the Puerto Rican splash, if you will. The biggest moment of RCW history.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then the best part was, I think it's Hamilton Wolf is the other ref, who we think might be someone else, but we won't say it out loud on the.
No.
But
No.
he came to try and help Vance and literally just rolled him out and like dropped him to the floor to get out of the ring.
And he was there for like at least an hour or so because he was there for like doing like his next 2 matches, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some other highlights, well, except for the end, but 6-woman tag there as well, or there was a 6-woman tag there, which was Shiva, friend of the WrestleCast, Denise Day, and Emmy, the Phoenix champion, against La Leona, wound up not being able to make it down for some unforeseen reasons, unfortunately. So London de Jour, who was at the Rumble in January and has been at Mission Pro. No, she makes her debut at Mission Pro. Was there, and she teamed with Callie and Anarchist Kid. We were all yelling, we like 5 out of 6 parts of this match.
Yes.
But then, Callie being Callie, grabbed the Phoenix belt and hit Emmy in the face when the ref wasn't looking from outside, which was also a feat in herself because I don't know how she reached Emmy's face on the second rope, but she must have been standing on a chair or something.
Yeah, I'm sure she was standing on Vance's dead body. That's what it was.
But there's a clip out there that RCW has shared. Denise Day hits London de Jour with a power bomb.
Yeah.
And I guess I got to steal this from Nastico. She put some stank on it.
Yeah.
Like, damn. So shout out to Denise Day. We are always there for you. That damn.
Yeah.
So yeah. What else was there? What maybe should have been the main event in hindsight. Flocking Brawlers versus the Von Erichs.
Dude, that
legitimately one of the best tag team matches I have seen live and in person.
Yeah, that one start to finish was just absolutely crazy.
Like-
it got to the point where either team winning just would have been fine.
Yes. And again, they're the Von Erichs. You know, they obviously have the big connection to Texas, but oh yeah, we'll get to that too, Sean. Legitimately, the Flocking Brawlers are one of the best tag teams in Texas, if not indie wrestling in general.
Yeah.
They have gelled really well together. They are great, entertaining the crowd. And you know, the Von Erichs are the Von Erichs. You know, they've got some size to them, and they've got that Texas, you know, pedigree behind them. But that was a hell of a match. And then Casey did fall to the Iron Claw, which also kind of knowing Casey, we think he was probably super hyped to take anyways.
Yeah.
Even though he lost the match. So,
Yeah, if he's still here, I would love to get his thoughts on that. So
yeah, and Christian's right. Everyone was chanting for both of them. The crowd was loud. It was insane.
Yeah. But Sean mentioned River City Kingdom, the triple threat match for the tag belts. Hey, Terry! The Pillars retained, but now there is trouble in paradise, which I yelled so happily when it happened because the Overkill and River City Kingdom brawled all through. Actually, it's funny. That's actually the second night in a row that Love and Sunstash have to fight their way out of a building.
I think Stash just likes to fight, and Rob is always like, "Well, all right, if I have to fight." In fact, after the show, he was telling us that he wants like a barroom brawl match, and then Jay Alexander walked by. Jay Alexander, if you don't remember, JC, is the Jack dude, the Jack dude from Overkill, who looks like a prototype of Scott Steiner, Bobby Lashley, anyone like that. Rob Love yells, "Tell the meatheads to fight us. Tell the meathead." And I was like, I don't want to die, so I'm not going to tell him. But good luck with that. But the Pillars came out with that, which the Pillars are RCW favorites forever.
They are just too good at what
they're the ones you can't pick against until they lose it.
At this point, it's kind of becoming that, yeah.
So.
What else did we?
There was the two main events. The RCW title and then Fuego del Sol and Suicide main evented the show.
Yeah, and then there was also the 6 man at the very beginning that we kind of missed, but
oh yeah, that's right.
The treat. Okay,
shows, yeah.
Well, it's the treats. They win again by scrupulous methods. Yeah. They have a couple like Diego's got the international title. Don Juan has the Future Legends. Yeah, which is an ironic title for him to have.
Yeah, seriously.
But at some point, I think that the Treats' downfall has to come because they're cheating too much to win, and they're getting away with it. So.
Oh, they're the best.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, back to the double main events.
Arsenal beat Don Fernando.
Don Fernando is pretty funny. He's working his way through. He needs to get some better. He needs to stop buying bathrobes from, the dollar store or.
He was shopping at the same. He was shopping at the same Goodwill that Thunder Rosa and JP were at the other day.
Yeah, exactly. But
hey, look, depending on which one you go to, some of those are pretty nice. I got to say, the one up at Petrenko, pretty damn huge.
That's a really good Goodwill, actually.
Yeah.
Damn, Jason.
What do you say now? Oh.
So Terry, we hope you're feeling okay. He put up this post about having COVID, and I, for a second, thought the same thing. When I just saw the post, I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Oh no, that's COVID. Never mind."
Yeah.
By the way, Terry, hope you're feeling okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, you're feeling good, man. Yeah.
I mean, you seem to be in the chat, so.
Oh,
yeah, I know, Terry, but for a split second, when you open a post and you see like the little thing with bars, I was like, "Oh," and we know you just got engaged. So.
Yeah. I mean, hey. Maybe that's the next one. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah. So.
But yeah, we hope you're feeling better, Terry. We hope it's not hitting you too bad. So
yeah.
All
right. Quite a busy weekend, but still, Thunder Rosa mentioned at the top of the show what she's going to be discussing when she's on Busted Open Radio tomorrow. And we're going to preview it right now. AEW Revolution officially taglined with Sting's last match. We'll get to that because I'm pretty sure that's going to be the main event of the show. And if it's not, then what the hell is AEW doing, right? Now, there's been a little bit of changes to this card since I gave you guys the agenda. We'll get to that when we get to it. But let's start with one that I know Tommy's interested in. Will Ospreay versus Takeshita.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Tommy, who are you picking on this one? Because this would go.
I'm gonna say Ospreay with the biggest question mark in parentheses I possibly could, because it's still the Don Callis family, and if there's any way that they could use to build up Konosuke, it'd be to get a win over Ospreay.
Yeah.
Or Ospreay, because I could, but anyway, I'm gonna pick Will.
Okay.
But I won't be surprised if I'm wrong. Also, yeah, Bo did win the RCW title. I don't like bringing that up because it means Nastico is right about something, and I hate ever mentioning that. Oh, Terry's taking Ospreay by DQ.
Real quick,
Oh,
just to go back to that, Tommy.
Yeah.
Nastico now has the men and women's champion as his clients at RCW.
Can you pick who's going to win between Ospreay and Takeshita, please? Because I don't want to keep talking about Nastico being right.
No, but you also know if I get a chance to talk about Alejandro, I'm going to take it. So
I know,
That's
but this
true.
also involves Nastico being right, and I don't like that part.
I'm not going to lie. Kind of won me over with our interview. I'm just going to throw that out there.
No, he's still evil.
Yeah, kind of, but I mean, you like evil people, anyways. So I'm going to go with Ospreay.
Only when it's La Rosa Negra.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess you could, and maybe it makes it more interesting, but surely you can't sign him, make a big deal about him and become an official, and then have him lose right off the bat on the pay-per-view. Seems risky.
Well,
I know Takeshita's up and coming, but I think you can turn this into a series with those two. Because he's not going to stick with the family. Like, there's no way.
Well, yeah. Obviously, those seasons are long since.
Well, Terry right here thinking the family's going to turn on him, so that might be
Yeah, exactly.
So, but I'm going with Ospreay as well as with that too. So, all right, Mike, FTR versus the Blackpool Combat Club.
Go for me to him.
Speaking of, they're evil, but I love them.
Okay,
Combat
that's
Club.
fair. That's fair. That's a good
No,
point.
you know what? I feel like Blackpool Combat Club are a little bit more of what Thunder Rosa was talking about earlier. Like, sometimes you just got to have tough love, and you just got to show people like what's what. I can't bet against Blackpool. Yeah.
Neither can I. I'm going with them too. What about you, Tommy?
Yeah, I'll go Blackpool. Yeah.
All
I'll
right.
go Blackpool.
You know, I saw this rumor, and I know it's probably not true, but it would just crack me up that Sheamus's contract was up in WWE, and people are like, what if he shows up in AEW and recreates the bar? I was like, I put him with Blackpool Combat Club, just more people that just beat people up. Like, yeah, I'm down for it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you. I don't think it'll happen. I think he might be a WWE lifer. Not a bad thing because especially the past couple of years, they've given him a good kind of treatment.
Yeah.
But if that happens, and we get an AEW version of the bar, I'm in. So,
and can you imagine if he starts using Tanner?
That would never happen.
I think he'd just be like because it wouldn't look right anymore. We don't be able to.
No, they wouldn't. Now, next was where we're going to talk about was going to be the Meat Madness match, but apparently that has been changed.
Did you see how Tony Khan talked about it and said?
So I saw that he claimed about injuries, but then the three people that are supposed to be in this match are somehow in this All-Star Scramble
Well,
match. More than that.
Apparently, Nero and Keith Lee, he wanted them in it, and they're out. But what I mean is literally the language he used. He was literally saying something like, we were taking the meat out. We were gonna cook with this meat, but
he did say that.
The meat needs some time to defrost or whatever. So I'm gonna throw it back in the freezer, and wait for the right. I was like, okay.
I can't get mad at that. Those are jokes that I was gonna make. So
First of all, you don't defrost in the freezer. You put it in the fridge.
I know, but Maybe I read that
God
wrong.
damn
but
it, Tony.
Either way.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. So
Go ahead, JC. Jump on Twitter and complain about Tony Khan. At this point, he just.
I'm just saying it's simple thing. It's a guy that grills a lot. Okay. All-Star Scramble match is taking its place. It is Wardlow, Hobbs, Lance Archer, but also adding Chris Jericho, Hook, Brian Cage, Magnus, and Dante Martin. The winner.
By the way, are we talking about Magnus from TNA?
No, it's Magnus. He's a luchador. I looked that up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's confusing, right? Yeah.
I was like, they just snuck that in. What is that?
Yeah.
I get it, Jason, but he's got to learn. Okay? He's got to learn. All right. Anyway, winner of this match gets a future AEW World Championship match. So I'm just going to come right out and say it. I'm fucking picking Wardlow because I want to see that so bad right now.
See,
go ahead, Mike.
Well, I agree that that's going to happen down the road.
Yeah.
But I feel like they may be waiting until Adam Cole winds up with the title. So I don't. This is a statement that happens way too often. Or I don't know if they're ready to pull the trigger with Wardlow because they've never done that over and over.
Right.
I'm going to go with Hobbs.
Okay.
On my part. But I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
Are you going with Lance Archer, Tommy?
No, I'm gonna go Wardlow. God damn.
Okay.
I'm going freaking Lance. No, because I feel like Lance at some point is him and the Righteous are gonna go up to the 6-man tag belts for somebody. I don't know, Ring of Honor or AEW. So no, I'm gonna stick with Wardlow too.
Okay. Terry's also picking Wardlow as you put there in the chat there as well. So
cool.
All right, on to the championship matches. We'll start with the TNT Championship. Christian Cage versus Daniel Garcia. I'm going with Cage at this point. Tommy, what about you? You're doing the dance over there. So.
No, I am, but nah, I gotta stick with Cage, man. His run's just too hot. He's just been getting nuclear heat, man, and it's just Every time he starts bringing up somebody's parents, you can feel everyone doing this. Oh God.
Mike, what about you?
I'm going to go out on a limb.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to pick Daniel Garcia.
Okay.
With Adam Copeland interfering to cost him the title.
Shenanigans.
Because they did put Adam Copeland out with the concerto a couple weeks ago. A lot of people assumed Revolution was going to be Copeland and Christian. So I think this may be get that title off him so it can start being Christian doesn't need the belt. Christian is he's getting
but see he's getting dumb heat in a way like even Dominic Mysterio doesn't get because Dominic kind of got it by circumstance. Christian was pushing till he got it. So.
Yeah, and the TNT title was supposed to be their secondary title, and it just keeps getting caught in things where it never really gets a chance to have momentum as that secondary title. Like Orange Cassidy and his international title has far and away become that secondary workhorse title. So putting it on Garcia, I think would be a good chance to try and get back to that, but we'll see.
Okay. Terry Burzy taking Cage, and Jason's taking Garcia with you, Mike, on that one. So, speaking of the international title, Orange Cassidy defending against Roderick Strong. I'm staying with it. Hashtag Cassidy 1000. Hashtag Orange Cassidy 1000. Come on, 1,000 days international champion. Let's fucking do it. So, anybody else joining me with that?
I'm joining you. I'm going Cassidy. Oh, Jason.
Wow. I'm going Roderick Strong too.
Man,
because listen, Orange Cassidy's done everything he's done with that belt. I love that guy. Y'all know that.
Yeah, I know.
But that, and on top of, if you want the United, what are they? They're not the United.
Undisputed Kingdom.
Undisputed Kingdom to get some momentum with Cole still out. You need to give them something. And Roderick Strong is an amazing wrestler. They need something to legitimize themselves other than being led by Adam Cole. And I think this may be a start to it. So, I'm going to go with Roderick Strong. I think it does Orange Cassidy doesn't need that belt at this point, and I think Roderick Strong needs something to help him and the Undisputed Kingdom kind of, because their appearance was great, but once MJF went out to deal with injuries, they've kind of been floating with Cole being injured, and then on top of that.
Oh, got a quick message about Massive here.
Oh, that's awesome, Jeremiah.
That is great. That is great. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and thanks for all your help too. I know we've been talking.
Yeah.
I've been messaging you with stuff about the promotion, but thanks for everything you've done, man.
Yeah, and just everything in general, Jeremiah. You're always really cool, man.
Yeah.
All right, the Continental Crown Championship.
Oh, look what I convinced Terry to do.
Oh, I can see that. I'm changing it right. Ooh, there we go.
Wow, wow.
All right.
You've made Terry a believer.
Continental Crown Championship. This is basically the Continental Championship, the Ring of Honor World Championship, and the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship. These are all on the line with Eddie Kingston defending against Bryan Danielson. And if Danielson loses, he has to shake Kingston's hand. That's the added stipulation on this one. Mike, is Danielson shaking Kingston's hand after this?
It's if Kingston wins, Danielson has to shake his hand, right?
Yes. Yeah.
He's gotten the better of Danielson the last few times. I think it's going to turn against him. I'm going to go with Danielson.
Mike, you're just being contrary tonight.
A little bit. Look, there's a chance I can go 1-7 or 1-8 at this thing completely.
Ride or die with it, right?
But I also feel like they have a chance for some really interesting stories if they take chances.
I get what you mean.
I mean, I love Eddie Kingston, don't get me wrong, but on top of that, you'll give Danielson 3 belts. He has a New Japan connection. Apparently, I saw Jason literally commenting to Tony Khan about this. ROH belts, the men's belts, aren't getting defended on ROH TV. Like it's Athena. They're having a tournament for the women's second title. Not like the 6-man belts, the champion. Like none of them are on ROH TV and they're ROH belts. Give Danielson a belt. Let him go do some ROH matches. I mean, there's so much to do. I know he doesn't, but it would be good for story.
Well, first of all, if he were to win and change all of those to like his natural hemp titles like he did in WWE's Daniel Bryan, that would be fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. That being said, Mike, you kind of hit the nail on the head. The New Japan connection. He's kind of teased this for a while since he showed up in AEW. That's why I'm also picking Bryan Danielson because, let's face it, I don't know how much longer he's going to be wrestling. He's kind of talked about that in the past. He's got to have a New Japan connection there. I think Bryan Danielson wins this one. Anything, whatever it takes to not shake Eddie Kingston's hand. That would be something. So I'm going Bryan Danielson. Tommy, what about you?
I'm going Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, okay. All right. The AEW Women's Championship, Toni Storm defending against Deonna Purrazzo.
I'll start.
Go for it.
And I'm going to go out on a limb again for a similar reason. Toni Storm doesn't need this belt. She has become such a thing unto herself that you're going to follow her. And I think Jason has mentioned this before in previous ones. Her melting down from losing that belt can be just as entertaining. So I'm going to go with Deonna Purrazzo because on top of that, you have Mercedes coming in soon. And I think you need a little bit more of a serious champion for her to go after. Not that Tony's not a great wrestler, but that character is such right now that I think that'd be a little bit weird right off the bat.
Okay. Jason's also going Deonna. Terry's going with Deonna. I'm going with Deonna Purrazzo. I've been kind of waiting for this one ever since she got into AEW. We know what she did with the championship in TNA or Impact at the time, so I'm pretty sure she could do that here. Tommy, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Deonna.
Okay.
Yeah, I was debating it, but no, I'm gonna go Deonna.
Yeah. Jeremiah, no problem. Yeah.
Oh no, you're good, man.
We follow you on social media, Jeremiah. Yeah. We know you are always out there busting your ass.
Yeah, seriously.
putting
Yeah.
up Mission Pro flyers and all that stuff. So
Yeah,
no
yeah,
problem
yeah,
at all,
yeah.
man. Thanks.
You
Yeah.
you are the street team.
Let's see here. What do we got next? Oh, AEW Championship: Samoa Joe versus Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland. And as I understand, this is just one fall, right? This is a triple threat
As far as
match.
I know, it's one fall. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Tommy, who you got?
Screw it. I'm going Swerve. I don't give a
Uh,
damn. I don't give a damn how I don't give a damn. I'm going Swerve.
It's 3 days too late.
I don't give a. I know. If this was happening, if this was literally happening last week, I would have said Swerve or nothing. But I know it's 3 days after the fact. I know it is. But maybe the leap year gave us a couple more extra black energy days, right?
Steve, here's the thing. Even if February had 31 days, you still would have missed it.
That's
So-
you're not listening to me. I said just now the blackness power that Swerve has could push like another few days and get him.
Tommy, we
What?
forgot to mention. I'm sorry, we forgot to mention on top of that our picture from RCW.
Oh,
We took me, Tommy, Jason, and Denise Day took a Nation of Domination picture
yes.
in honor
Oh,
of
nice.
on February.
Yeah.
I've shared that through my Instagram. We'll have to share that on the WrestleCast one.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting thought here from Jason here. He thinks Page will submit to Joe on purpose in order to prevent Swerve from winning the title.
Damn it, Jason.
That would be the
Wow.
ultimate troll move. I
You
can
know-
see it happening.
Okay, that's the thing. I was ready to follow Tommy, but that has been Page's story
Yeah,
in
it
these
has.
last
It
couple of
really
weeks.
has
It's not
been.
about. It's kind of about winning the title, but it's about
It's more
also
about
making
just-
sure that Swerve doesn't get to that title. And now you just screwed up my thinking, Jason.
Well, I was thinking of it more where Swerve is going to hit Page with his finisher, and Joe's just going to throw Swerve out and steal the pin. That's my thought is, and that's why I'm going with Samoa Joe. But if they rework that story and there's somewhere where Page just like takes the pin or something like that, like he knows he's got like he's about to get a submission broken up or something like that, he'll just like tap out real quick. That would be very interesting. But I'm going with Joe on that one.
I mean, Terry, it's kind of already happened.
Yeah, they have kind of teased that, haven't
Like
they?
Yeah,
the fans at least are mostly behind Swerve, kind of booing.
It's kind of like, well, actually no, they kind of have done it. I mean, even though Swerve doesn't exactly like hide his wrongdoings in the past, the fans really do get on Page more than they do Swerve. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, who are you taking on this one then?
I'm going to stick with the original. I'm going to go with him and go with Swerve. Again,
boy.
because I'm going to go back to my idea that I think this pay-per-view can be a real change. Like, I don't want to say Genesis to rip off TNA, but like a real changing of things to kind of spice things up.
Dynamite is getting a new graphic. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah, them and Collision are getting some changes coming up soon or
Okay.
something like that.
Terry going Joe as well.
Yep.
So, yep. All right, and finally, AEW Tag Team Championship in a tornado tag. Sting's last match, teaming with Darby Allin, defending against the Young Bucks. And by the way, they're going to have Ric Flair in their corner. Sting and Darby Allin will. So
Everything was going so well.
yeah, right. Why does Rick have to be involved with this?
It's like the
Well, no,
I haven't gone to read the article on the. I haven't read the article yet on the Players Tribune, but I did see that Darby Allin wrote an article for it. And I'm sure it's gonna be a great read. I do want to check it out. But Mike, Sting, you've been a long time fan of his from the old WCW days, the Surfers thing gimmick. And for so many times they've teased it. This is it. Like he just came back, back in TNA, whatever. Are you like? How can I explain this? How does this compare with some of the other retirement matches that we've seen, like Shawn Michaels? And
here's the
that sort of
thing.
thing. Yeah.
If there's any man in the business that has shown himself to be someone who respects the things of the business, I honestly can't see him not going out on his back. As much as that sucks,
Uh-huh.
if you look at some of the comments people have made, it's like Tony and Darby have had to push him to get to take the accolades and to go over in certain things. Like he didn't want to win the tag belts, right? He was like, I don't need to be a champion. You know, I'm old. You know, I'm doing these, and they had to convince him that it was a good idea for this story. Obviously, you know, you would love for him to go out on top and maybe retire the belts or something. Unless they really convince him, I believe he's going to go out, possibly even taking the pin, maybe taking what's now called the Tony Khan driver, or at least the EVP trigger. And it sucks, but I do think he's going to do that to honor the traditions of wrestling.
Same for me as well, because it is Sting, because you always go out on your back in your last match. Interesting that it is a tag match, although personally I would have loved to see just him and Darby go at it one-on-one for his last match. But tag matches has kind of been his way in the last year or two of his AEW career. So
he said it in the interview. Is like he's like, I'm not. I get everyone wanted him to do that, but it's like it's what he wants, guys. And
yeah,
like, you know, he has said so many times, I don't want to do a singles match. I want to tag with Darby.
Hey, are y'all busy Saturday during the day before Revolution? Or no, it's Sunday, right?
It's Sunday.
It's Sunday. Joaquin has a tournament, so
On Sunday?
Yeah.
So
Tommy?
it depends. Why? What's up?
I legitimately think I might jump on the stream and talk Sting for a little bit, because he is legitimately, him and Sean are my two tops. I've said that many a times.
Yeah.
And as people have been posting stuff like on TikTok, seeing all these old WCW matches, him and Luger versus the Steiners, him and Muda versus the Steiners from New Japan. Jason, if you want to jump on, I'll throw the link out to you too, man, because I know you're into that stuff from the early 90s. I might go for like a 30, 45 minutes just talking about old Sting stuff. Burnsy, you want to jump in? Yeah, because he is legitimately one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Last year when I got to meet him, that was a legit bucket list thing. And I honestly think I'm in a little bit of a denial overall. Like I know it's his last match and he's not going to have a match, but he's going to be around Terry. I'll throw it out there, guys. Seriously.
Terry's been on the show before too. I'm sure he would love to talk about it.
I want a little bit of time to legitimately talk about Sting over his career.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll send out a message probably on Sunday.
Is this to you what Jushin Thunder Liger's retirement match was to Tommy? Is this kind of what? Yeah.
Like I mean I don't want to speak for Tommy, but probably because you know how like the thing with Duncan and Robinson is they stay dispersed the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for the most part, Sting stayed loyal while he was able to. Like he stuck with WCW while WCW was alive. You know, they always said he had chances to go to WWE, but he just didn't want to do that. Then WCW closed. You know, he went to TNA for a while, was loyal to them in the sense that he helped them so much, did a bunch for them. Now, they didn't close, but their partnership ended, and he has said that he wanted to have that Undertaker match. You know, so that's so he kind of, you know, came into WWE, had the match with Rollins, was hoping that was going to come about. They had to screw him with that stupid WrestleMania match, and Vince had to once again show that WWE beat WCW. There is no reason that Sting should not have beat Triple H in that match. I don't care about the showdown with Ronda later and The Rock.
They could have done that anyway.
That was a dumb reason. A pissed off Triple H would have probably even been funnier in that because he would have been rude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you know, Sting is my guy. So I'll send out invites, guys, if y'all want to jump in on Sunday. Maybe what time does it start? 6 or 7 probably. So
7. So I mean something probably
maybe
like in the
about
middle of
3
the
or
day.
4. Maybe
in the middle of the day, you know.
Let me know. I'll see what I'm doing.
Okay.
If I'm free. Yeah. If not, you got guys who will jump in with you.
Yeah. So yeah, that's going on.
Cool. So you're taking the Young Bucks officially.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Young Bucks as well. I mean, Sting is a traditional guy, and whoever it is, whether it's Matt or Nick Jackson, I wonder if they're going to be fighting to be the one to pin him, right? That'd be kind of a funny storyline if the Young Bucks are doing it, but yeah, I think Sting does take the pin on his way out. It just makes the most sense, given his career is. But it is a tornado tag, so it's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild in there. So, but I'm going with the Young Bucks officially. Tommy, what about you?
I don't know, because there are several ways this could play out. Because Terry said one that I literally was thinking of before he typed it. They could win. Darby and Sting could win. They vacate the belts and have a tournament, and then that could lead to like angry, sad Bucks, who just take it on everyone. Or you could have this thing where they win, the Bucks win, and you have everyone mad at them because they took out Sting. Because they bloody him a little bit or something.
Yeah.
Oh, breaking news real quick.
Oh, what's up?
Hybrid Mania's March show, Road to Hybrid Mania 4, Feel the Steel. Tickets just went on sale for March 16th. Feel the
March
Steel.
16th is the day.
That
Okay.
seems interesting.
Feel the. Ooh.
So
Okay.
Hybrid Mania, who is going to be at NostalgiaCon in May with us.
Boom. The tag division does need a reboot. Yeah, Jason, that's actually part of my thinking. You know what?
That's true also. That's right.
Yeah.
Steel is going to be a special guest.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. But if they want to throw up a cage, just saying, down with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Screw it. I'll be contrary, like Mike was earlier. I'm picking Sting and Darby Allin. Just
right.
just so I can have my one that's definitely going to be wrong. So I don't know, because I feel like they may convince him, because he went out on his back in his previous retirement with like Seth Rollins, to maybe go out on top on this one. And I'm not saying that's and I'm not saying you guys are wrong about Sting and about him, how he does things. But I feel like, ironically, that's why he might not do it. Because Sting has always been the guy that everyone knows has that respect for pro wrestling. He doesn't always try, like consider the matches he's had. Like, how many pay-per-views has he really main evented in AEW? How many spotlights has he really taken in AEW, despite the fact he's a veteran? If this was literally anybody else, the show would be all about him. He's been tagging with a much younger guy. Sorry, Mike, what were you going to say?
No. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say, by the way, if you're right, ecstatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're right, I'm going to be happy about it. Again, I just my thought was that's kind of who he is.
And I'm not saying you're wrong. Like again, I said I could be. I'm picking this kind of considering I'll be wrong, and this will be my one that keeps you from testing this one. But I'm just thinking the reason why I'm saying that is because Sting is
the one that's going to stop. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, seriously.
Just kidding.
No, you're right. No, you're right. But I look at it this way: Sting isn't Hogan. Sting doesn't come in and make the whole show all about him.
No, 100%.
Yeah, he comes in, like, he wrestled with all these young guys, and he was doing dives. He was putting guys, not necessarily over, but he was in a way, because he gave these guys like fantasy matches. You can't tell me that guys like Renard and Cool-Hand Ange and and everybody, wrestling Sting wasn't like a dream for them. You can't tell me that they were jonesing out with it.
Like you said, the Acclaim, when they made that rap about him and Darby, and
so I feel like he could go out losing, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does. But at the same time, I can even see the Young Bucks saying, "You're Sting. We're the Young Bucks. We're gonna get hated. It doesn't matter what we do.
Right?
Just beat us." Say we can just beat you up after the match is over. How about that? We can do that too. So yeah, that's just my pick.
I would love that. I kind of hope it happens, honestly.
Yeah,
but again, it's almost it's like literally a battle between their wills, like Sting's will to do the right thing, and they're like, "No, you're Sting. Come on, let it happen." No, that sounds bad, but yeah.
It's almost like please, no, you go first. No, I insist you go first. No, seriously, you were here first. I insist you go first. But look, man, I was late. You go ahead. So.
All right. Well, AEW Revolution, Sting's last match takes place this Sunday, March 3rd, 7 p.m. Central Time. Pre-show starting at 6 from the Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina. Those lucky bastards get to see Sting's last match. We'll be on Bleacher Report at the cost of $50. And domestically, internationally, it is on Fight TV. So maybe down the line be on Max. Who knows how this deal works out? I'm sure they're trying to figure all that stuff out. Yeah. So. Oh, what a show! Do you guys have a 1 minute warning? Because I have one, but
I don't.
I
you
don't.
don't. Okay.
Ooh,
I like that.
What?
Terry, I like that. I like that.
Ooh, interesting. I hope so.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw this out there. If he had chosen Kenny Omega as his final match, would he have kicked out of the One Winged
No.
Angel just one time?
No.
No, I think that would have been the line that he would not
Okay.
cross. Yeah, I honestly no.
Yeah.
No, they would probably have to convince him to kick out of the EVP trigger. I think it's a solo thing, knowing what it means, and no, I mean, I interesting idea, but I think he would definitely be like, I can't do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me line this up here. For my 1 minute warning, I just want to say it is not often we get to do a show on a leap year day. It is February 29th, and I don't know if we're ever going to get an opportunity again. You just never know how the calendar plays out and whatnot. But something that to think about, if you have social media, especially if you're on Facebook, just go post a message today. Because when your memory comes up, you're not going to see it for 4 years. Yeah, Mike, you did it. I did it 4 years ago, and it's hard to believe when I did it 4 years ago. I was like, yeah, I'm just putting a message up here so I have something to look back on 4 years. And then you think about what the hell happened in 4 years. Because a few weeks after I put that, COVID hit. And as we saw what stuff happened, shit hit the fan. Thunder Rosa came on the show, talked about it. She started Mission Pro right at the worst possible time, it seems, because we didn't know what wrestling promotions were going to survive through that. But yeah, throw something out there, put a little message on your Facebook or on social media, something that will pop up with a memory, something that you'll only see in 4 years, and just have a little fun with that. So yeah,
Somehow we're like in some post-apocalyptic future, just looking at your phone that's like running off some man-made energy source. You're like, huh,
yeah.
good times.
The funny part is my daughter had her softball practice, and we also share the field with the 8U Sharks team. There's a girl on the team whose birthday is February 29th. So she actually got to celebrate with her teammates today, and we're just joking that she was really only 2 years old because she's so pretty cool stuff when you have a birthday.
I need to be corrected from
Oh.
earlier. Sorry. My bad, Casey. This was more of your love and appreciation of wrestling in general.
Yes.
Not literally, the fact that he squeezed your head almost
I do love that. It, in fact, did not feel good.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us on this special Leap Day episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. Special thanks to Thunder Rosa for coming on the show and for saying you'll be on more often. So I'm actually looking forward to that. The insight, sharing a few memories that she had of Massive, which is pretty amazing stuff. So
maybe I guess I'm commentating again at some point.
I guess so. I guess you got a lot of positive feedback,
Well,
Tommy. Yeah.
Okay,
so
what we
job.
need to do is create like a soundboard of recordings for you, and then I'll bring like a megaphone or something.
I literally knew you were going to say that when you said Tommy. I literally knew you were going to say that word for word.
Yeah, because look, Jason agrees, Bernsey agrees, JC and the family agrees. It's weird not hearing you yell things during a show.
I'll take a Bluetooth speaker if I fucking have to and just play that soundboard off my phone.
There we go.
One final thing I do want to point out, United 210 promotion, Sash talked about, they have announced their dates for the full year, by the way. Their first show is March 15th. Definitely check it out on their Instagram, which, by the way, he handed my wife a flyer at work a couple days ago because he had them there. They
nice
features and stuff. So
hilarious.
Also, at the moment, Meats Mania not on that list, but I'm sure we'll.
I was about to say it's got to happen, right?
That may be a
AEW could-
special show that we need to.
I'm just saying, AEW couldn't pull off the Meat Madness. United, you got to pull off the Meats Mania. It's got to happen. So, yeah. So, next week, we will be recapping AEW Revolution. And then, of course, Mike, you're going to be trying to set up something on Sunday during the day.
Yeah, so I'll send things out on both my socials and WrestleCast socials. Those of you in the chat, we'll try and get y'all on. Casey, if you want to join us and talk about Sting, down with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be like a community thing. My son's got a tournament. I'll be gone all day, but
Yeah.
I'll try and drop in if I can, something like that. So, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you again, everyone, for joining us. Oh, let me get this thing set up here. We got Tommy
Stay black, y'all.
for the last time this year.
I got 56
Congratulations on getting 5 weeks of that, by the way. Only going to happen every 4 years.
I was black
And then only on the years where the calendar lines up like this, like you said.
Yes, exactly.
I was
So,
black all this month.
Yeah. We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC, and just an FYI, our show next week may be on Wednesday. My birthday is Thursday, March 7th.
right.
And as a special birthday present to me, both my kids have their season opening baseball and softball games for the spring season on that day.
Happy
quite
birthday!
frankly, I wouldn't have it any other way. They're playing at the
You
same
would. You
time.
really would.
I'll be coaching my daughter's team on one field and looking over every now and then to see how my son is doing on the other field.
That's
It's-
fair.
yeah,
fair.
so but yes, I'll have my birthday Thursday, so we'll probably be doing the show on Wednesday. Ted, just FYI if you're out there watching this. So, and I'm JC, and as always, heels and baby faces, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake.
Damn.
Thank you again,
Adios.
Thunder Rosa. There it is.
God dang it.
Yes! Adios, Gunther!